So yeah, hi all. Thank you very much for joining us for this interactive live. We've got question and answer session where we're going to be discussing as many things AAT as we can, including about how to find your first role, how to stand out with your CV, and some insights from one of our tutors here. So my name is Victoria Longstaff. I'm an account manager here at Accountancy Learning. A little bit about Accountancy Learning. So we are a well-established national training provider for AAT, and we do ACA here in the Southwest. We are award-winning. We pride ourselves on our flexi learning approach, and we specialise specifically with accounting, which means we can provide you with industry recognised qualifications by a training team that have not only a wealth of knowledge, but also often lived in experience in the sort of roles that you're currently already working in or aspiring towards. Right, so I've got my colleague, I'm hoping, yep, she's here already, perfect. So we've got Jenna in today. She's joining me on this session, and she's one of my colleagues here. She's not only a senior tutor, but also part of our quality team, alongside managing a whole team of tutors and apprentices in our Plymouth office. So she's got a lot of things that she does for us, and she's got her own AAT journey, which I'm sure she'll want to share a little bit later. Between the two of us, I'm hoping we'll be able to answer all your questions. So the aim of today is to try and keep it as interactive as we can. So if you do have anything you want to clarify or you're not sure about, just kind of pop it into the chat and we'll be more than happy to help you. If there's anything we don't cover, just let us know. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait to see if anything comes in the chat straight away with any questions off the bat. No. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Like I said, there will be lots of things that we don't cover. We will be aiming to try and do these nice and regularly, so maybe once every couple of months. So if it doesn't get covered this time, we will record it. We'll try and pop it somewhere, maybe on our YouTube and our Facebook channels. And then next time we'll cover some more bits. And then between everything, we should have a good little list of different Q&As for everyone. Okay, so I have got some questions already that people have kind of put together over the week. So we've got Darren here. Darren has asked, I have no experience. Oh, I'm trying to read it. Just bear with me. I have no experience, but I'm currently studying AAT Accounting Level 2, but want to get my foot in the door. What do you think will help me? Okay, so just trying to think where to start with that. That's a big question. So maybe take a look at your CV. So if you, I'm trying to think, if you don't have much experience, so if you're saying you haven't got much experience, so in this situation, I'd probably say list your qualifications first and your experience second. So if you're lacking in this, it's maybe worth trying to look at what transferable skills you wouldn't automatically think of. So for instance, if you worked in retail before, it's likely that you've already worked with customers, maybe face-to-face, maybe over the phone, and it's likely you've experienced difficult situations and conflict resolutions. So you can imagine in an accounting or bookkeeping sense, this could be a big tax bill coming or trying to get the information from somebody. So all of these skills are really relevant. It's very likely you've worked with money before, refunds even, and it's likely you've used some sort of computer system, stock management system. It's all very useful qualities. Just trying to think about other industries as well. So maybe if you work in a factory, things like checking stock levels, maybe counting boxes and managing deliveries, they sort of show that you definitely show something to an employer, and it's worth having a think about if there's any of those skills you use in your everyday job that you can transfer over and that employers may be looking for. If I can't tell too much, Darren, from what you have done before, so if you do want to give me sort of more clarification, that's great. But maybe if you are just at home, experience like things like managing the family budget, keeping you organized, making appointments, maybe you care for somebody. So there's lots of different things that would kind of stand out in the workplace. Jenna, can you think of any other skills that might be useful in a situation like that?
I'm just thinking even lots of different things like can be transferable, like meeting deadlines can be something that's really transferable. That's something you need to do.
Yeah, like time management as well. I suppose if you show up for your shift every single day, you're loyal, you're reliable, all of these things look great on a CV. And so definitely point them out. There's lots of different resources for you to use anyway. So always free. There's lots of free resources. So for instance, there's the AAT portal. and that's where it's going to have access to different AAT jobs that are available. Also, there's things like the National Career Service, so they will help show you how to kind of structure a CV, a good cover letter. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. And I suppose in terms of going back to if you haven't got any of the experience, there are other things that an employer may look for. So if they use a particular type of computer system or accounting system, they might find that if you've done that accreditation already, that'd be helpful. So just off the top of my head, I'm thinking maybe like Xero do their own accreditation online. So you could do that on the side, and then you can pop that on your CV, use that as a foot in the door. So although you haven't got the experience, you have got the accreditation. Is there anything else, Jenna, you think?
I think like it just reiterating what you said, like really honing in on any free resources, anything that can show that you've got the commitment to make that sort of that step, because I think that's really crucial, like showing an employer that you've got that commitment and that you've got that understanding and that you haven't just done it on a whim.
Yeah, and I think as well you can with cover letters especially. So if you can imagine you're applying for a position where you haven't got the experience, but we've already talked about all those transferable skills, the cover letter is going to be vital for you. So really think about it when you're doing it. It doesn't have to be long. In fact, I would say maybe half a page would be great. What you want to get across is, a chance for you to sum up what you have got and then explain if you haven't got something, maybe why, or just reiterate that you have the passion and you're prepared to learn it. And that's definitely a way to sum it all up for them without them having to like skim through everything. So yeah, I would say the main things with the cover letter, get your CV in the right order, make sure if there's different skills that match what you have seen in the job specification, that you're maybe bolding them. So that could be if the business requires you to have good Excel knowledge and you happen to have that, or you've done a course in the past, make sure that's bold and that's obvious to the employer looking at it. And I think finally, just try not to get too disheartened. It could be a case that you are like the right candidate at the wrong time. It could be that they had somebody slightly stronger. They could have taken somebody internally. They could have just changed their plans. We see it all the time. They'll say that they are looking for maybe 3 people, but then actually the needs of the business change a little bit. And it goes down to 1. That doesn't necessarily mean that you won't get the job next time. So networking is always good. Make sure you leave that interview with a smile on your face and feeling so you're kind of in good spirit for next time. Yeah, I think that sums it up. There's so much to cover really in that one question.
Yes, that's definitely a big first question.
Okay, what have we got next? I know
I've got one in from Sunny. So they're
brilliant.
looking to start AAT so that they can start their own business and just want to know where do they start?
Ooh, just trying to think. So, yeah, there's with AAT, they want to start their own business. So where do they start? So, good thing about AAT is because it's industry recognized and it's often seen as a stepping stone into other things, but also its own own qualification, its own rights. There's lots of different routes you can go through. So I would probably say, for instance, you could go down the bookkeeping route. So with the bookkeeping courses, you've got a certificate in bookkeeping level 2 and you've got a certificate in bookkeeping level 3. And then after you have this, you can apply for QB status with AAT, which means that you can basically be a licensed bookkeeper. So that's probably one of your quickest ways to get into starting your own business, to go down the bookkeeping route. Alternatively, if you want to do more accounting duties, you could look at doing level 3 certificate in accounting and level 4 diploma in accountancy as well. And that would mean that you could be a licensed accountant. So there are different routes for you. And then after that, of course, you could then go on to do some more courses after that. So anything else on that, Jenna? Like, I'm just trying to think. You deal with quite a lot of people that maybe are doing the AAT level 3 and then on to 4.
Yeah, so I would say, obviously, the more you do, the more that you can do within your roles. Obviously, if you were to be doing bookkeeping, for example, and that's where you wanted to go with your business, there will still be steps where you have to link in with an accountant to get your accounts signed off if that's what they need. So you still have to kind of pull people in. I guess it depends on whether or not this is an instance where you want to start your own business and be a bookkeeper, or whether you want to start a business that's completely separate but do the bookkeeping for your own business, as to how in depth you take your knowledge. But obviously there are certain things that you can not do. For example, if you're not going to do level 4, you can't really get involved with someone's personal tax returns because you've not got to that level yet. Things like level 3, where you're learning about that will be really helpful. And I guess it just depends on how far you want to take that knowledge and understanding.
Yeah, I think that's what it is that it's trying to get a feel for what it is you're looking to do. So I think, yeah, if you think that this might be the route for you, it could be that you do your bookkeeping qualifications first, get a feel for it, see if it's something you enjoy, and then maybe if you haven't got that confidence at first, because I can imagine you'd be quite daunted at first, maybe try and partner up with a local bookkeeper or accountant, see if they have any work that they need some help with. It could be that they've got a few too many clients at the moment and they need some extra help with maybe even some bank reconciliations or some of their basic bookkeeping. And what it will do is kind of give you that experience and confidence as well to kind of dip your toe in and then see how you get on. You could go into maybe some contracting alongside that, so that could be where you'd working for an accounting firm, or maybe even a small business that require you to just work maybe 1 or 2 days a week just to go through some of their bank recs. Or I mean, what sort of things else would they be doing? Maybe like purchase ledger or invoicing even. um yeah, so there's kind of that you could there's always going to be some accounting work somewhere that somebody needs some help with, and that's kind of the beauty of accounting. Every business needs it, so yeah, it's definitely not something that's going to be you're going to be worrying about trying to get that business in, especially when you've got the confidence. I think just the main thing to remember with anything is that always try and start small, remember your ethics and to be professional, and that if you can't, there's no point trying to take on something way above what you've already learned. And yeah, just use all of the help and take advantage of every sort of help you've got around you. I know our team, all of our AAT tutors have some experience somewhere in some sort of firm or accounting role. So if you are taking a course with us and you have one of our tutors, ask them their questions. They should be able to help you with some of their experience in the world.
Definitely, I would definitely echo that. And if they haven't had direct experience, they'll have a colleague who has had direct experience. We've got a wide range of experience in there, so lots of different industry practice backgrounds.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, even just thinking about the team that you manage down in Plymouth. I mean, you've got Emily, for instance, who's worked in quite a bit a firm before. And then you've got Pete that does a lot of charity work. So there may be somebody in a different sector for everything, and you'll find what you're looking for if you speak to those people. Yeah, so I think that's kind of covered that question. So I've got one here, and it's from Luke, and they have asked. I'm getting the knowledge through my studies, but I don't have any on the job training. How can I get some when I can't seem to get my first job? Oh, it's like the chicken and the egg. It always happens. It's like yeah, I understand everyone's frustration with that, and it can feel like you're a little bit stuck sometimes. We hear this conversation all the time, and we completely understand it. What I would advise would be to perhaps look at what is around you. Kind of touching on what we said before, like what where you looking at maybe where you already work. So it could be that they just trying to think, you could already have like an accounts team within your company, so you might not be in that role at the moment, but if you approach your manager, it's possible that they didn't even know it was something you were interested in. So maybe ask to do a secondment, maybe a little bit of work experience in that department. It could be that it's quite a small business you work for, so you have a bookkeeper that it goes to, or it could be that actually you'd be doing your company a favor if you said, I want to do some of the bookkeeping duties. So before it goes to the bookkeeper, can I do some of those duties? And eventually it could be that bookkeeping external role is obsolete and you end up doing it. Yeah, so that's that kind of it. So that's what I mean by looking within what you've already got. It could be once you've explained to your manager your aspirations for the future, they yeah, would let you take some experience days, or it could be that they even help to fund a course in the future. You just never really know.
Also volunteering, like actually volunteering can be really useful. I know I've obviously done my studies, I've been through university, and I worked within accounting within a college, and I did enjoy it, but I kind of miss this aspect of things, helping students get their qualifications. One of the things I've done recently is I've been a treasurer of the PTFA at school. So I've been able to kind of like get a bit more like exposure to it again, and kind of like go through things like authorizing the bank payments and things like that. And it's kind of, if you they're always, nearly always, when you see PTFAs looking, a lot of the time is treasurer roles that they want to fill. So obviously it would be good to have a bit of experience and exposure before you get started with it. But if you're already studying and you're getting the knowledge and you just want to be able to put it into practice, that could be a good place to start.
Yeah, I suppose I hadn't even really thought about that because, of course, even if people have got like a fete coming up or they have like a tuck shop on site, there's still all these cash payments coming in and there's expenses, and it could be that the person that's doing it has got lots more experience already, the treasurer already there, but they don't want to do it anymore. So they might absolutely be in a position of thinking, actually, no, they really want to help you as well. So you're helping them out. So yeah, definitely things like PTFAs, charities, small businesses that maybe hire a bookkeeper one day a week, but it's basic. Those are all the sort of good way of kind of getting that experience when you don't have it, but you've already started your studies. So no, that's great. Have we got anything else come in, Janet, that you can see in the chat?
Um, okay, so the next thing is actually about volunteering. Um, we've had a question about would volunteering help them in terms of getting their first job? So that one's come in. So yeah, Victoria said, it's kind of getting in touch with people, sending out your CV, going to, because if you are studying, if you kind of can show that on your CV, it might be that a local firm which isn't looking, they don't have a vacancy, actually they come across your CV at some point and think, oh, actually this would be really good for this particular client that I'm about to take on. Um, Okay. So we've got another question from Sarah. Money is tight, as I've only just got back into job hunting and think AAT could help. Do you have any options on payment plans?
Yeah, I mean, we get it. It's a conversation we have all the time. So it's obviously a massive concern for people, especially at the moment. So if you do go on our website and you have a look at accountancylearning.co.uk, there's a tab for courses, and that does have all the different courses on there, and the bundles as well. And what I want to just stress with that is we have three different packages for this exact reason. There's different costs for each one, but there's also different levels of support as well. So I I'm hoping that we should be able to cover everything. So they range from sort of self-study extra. So that's where it allows you to work at your own pace. So you get all the information given to you, all the online resources you need to succeed, and you get access to a learning plan like everybody else, and you get lots of self-marking assessments and quizzes just to make sure you stay on track. And you can upgrade that plan at any time. So if you find you're getting to a unit and you think, I need some extra help with this, you can ring or email our team and you can upgrade for that particular exam. So that's a different approach. So it's more of like a pay as you learn. So you pay the initial at the beginning, and then if you need help later, you can add on. Something like that wouldn't include the AAT membership, and it wouldn't include the exam fees. But I suppose if it's money's a bit tight, that might be a way of doing it. So it's more of a pay as you go approach. We then got the standard plus, which has got all of those features already, but you also get a dedicated tutor. So that's where you can they'll interact with you as frequently as you need. They'll mark your work. If you need extra help with something, they can maybe give you a call, give you kind of a one-to-one session on that. And yeah, if you go a bit quiet, this is where I think it's good to note as well. They kind of keep you on track, so they're going to make sure, if they haven't heard from you in a while, just make sure everything's okay. And then finally, we have got more of an all-inclusive plan, which is everything that I've just mentioned, but also on top of that, you've got our Pass Plus guarantee, which is basically if the tutor that you have has marks and work for you and a progress test for a unit, and they think that you're confident and you think you're confident, and you don't pass it for whatever reason, we will then pay for you to retake that exam. What's also included in that is access, your AAT membership, which is included. So we front the cost for that. So you don't have to go to AAT. We'll provide you with that, and also your exam fees as well. So if you happen to live near one of our exam centres, we will just kind of book that in for you. If you are not, we can give you a payment code or invoice the centre directly. So just it's more of an all-inclusive plan. So it could be that you want to go down that route so you know exactly where you are with the costs. But we do have different payment plans available. So for all of those plans I've mentioned, we can offer between 1 and 10 months of payment plans. So you pay over 10 months. So we've got a great team here that will be able to help you with that. And we can work around your budget that way. So the other way of looking at it is we do offer employers the chance to invoice as well. So if you have got an employer that's keen, we can invoice them directly, and they get the added benefit as well of an account manager who will keep them updated with how their employee is getting on, make sure they're on track, and just kind of offer a more personalised service as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention on that. I think it could be as well that, if it's definitely out of the question in terms of paying for it yourself, a lot of jobs now do expect to help pay for some study support. So if you see maybe like a finance assistant role, it's very likely that they haven't put it in the job spec as such. But when you go to apply and you maybe get the role, it's in their interest to train you up anyway. So don't be afraid to kind of ask for study support. That's certainly like a different way of doing it. And then the old favorite as well is the apprenticeship route. So if you need to be able to earn while you learn, that's a great way of making sure that you're getting your study time in, but you're also earning a wage at the same time. And that's something that Accountancy Learning can help you with. We do have our talent program here. So if you want to go down the route of apprenticeships and you've got it's something that you're interested in or want to hear more about, you can speak to our talent program team, send in your CV, and we'll be able to kind of get started on going through your CV, your cover letter, and maybe sending out your details to some local employers and see if there's something available for you. I don't know if I've got anything else, Jenna. Can you think of anything?
I think the only thing I was going to just add to that is obviously the self-study, the initial package, that can be really helpful if you are somebody who is really motivated and you're really kind of able to kind of organize yourself. Again, that's a positive to be including on your CV if you are job hunting. And then I think what I would say is some of the people who are more on the standard plus, they are the ones who do sometimes need a little bit of a push, and they want the feedback. They're obviously if you go for a tutor supported course, you will get your online materials the same as somebody who's on self-study. But what you will find is obviously if you do have questions, you have that dedicated person. So it can be really useful, even if you are not sure if you're going to need them, to enroll for that, just to kind of know that it's there at your disposal. But if you are someone who is really motivated and you're maybe doing this just to formalize your qualifications, you may find that the self-study extra is the one for you.
Yeah, that's some really good points. I think is what I'm just trying to we do offer here at Accountancy Learning. So this may be, I'll get some links sent out to you guys anyway, but we offer a basic bookkeeping course here. We use it as a taster for learners that maybe don't quite know whether online learning's for them, and that would be more of a self-study option, but it's completely free. What it'll do is cover some of the fundamentals of bookkeeping, so things like your double entry, some trial balances, some ledger accounts, and it's all about going through the resources we give you. There'll be little quizzes, different transcripts for you, and at the end there's a test, and you can use that as like a taster to see if you enjoy it. But also feel free, there, because you're not paying for it and we would never expect you to, you can put that on your CV as well. So it's all of those things. If money is tight or you're not too sure at this point and you want a cost of well, a free way of getting into it, definitely apply to do our bookkeeping course, our basic bookkeeping course, and add it to your CV. We'll give you a tell you how you did in it. So yeah, that's it. I think adding on that as well be useful.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a really useful course, and it just kind of helps you to make sure, like you said, that double entry and online learning is for you, because I think sometimes it's just having a real taster of what you're enrolling for.
Yeah, perfect. So I think we'll have a little bit of a break in terms of the questions, because I got a few of my own. So I know we've got Jenna here today. She won't necessarily be here next month, but whilst I've got her, I just wanted to make use of her knowledge. So I have a question for you. So you have been with Accountancy Learning for a long time, and I know you have a really great story about how you became a tutor. So I just wanted to see if you would like to share that at all.
Oh.
Put
Well,
you on the spot.
yeah. So I've been here for 7.5 years now. I actually studied AAT via evening classes, and I did that, I think it feels like a million years ago now, but quite a while ago. And then from there, I kind of thought I would really like to get into teaching. So went off to university, did my degree, and I just missed engaging with students. Like, obviously, being doing my degree, I was obviously engaging with my peers, but it wasn't quite the same. So I kind of came back. I came back to sort of like where I originally did my training, and I've been here for ages now. Love interacting with the students and helping people to achieve their goals. I think I deal with a wide range of students, and we can either have students in industry, in practice. Obviously, they can work for a small practice, they can work for a larger practice, and there are lots of different routes and things available to people. There isn't a one size fits all. It is very much a case of you make your journey based on how it's going and where you want to take it. And I think that's definitely something we see quite a lot of at Accountancy Learning. We see lots of different journeys taking place.
Good. I think as well, so another question for you as well. So in your opinion, what do you think makes a good student?
So I guess one of the key things for me would be, I mean, obviously this is more focused at somebody who maybe has a tutor, is communication, because I think it's really key to be able to communicate and say, okay, I'm finding I'm struggling with this. I need some help with that. So I think communication can be a really, really important thing. Also the ability to manage yourself and really give those hours, those commitments. I think on average, we recommend between 6 to 8 hours of study a week. So I
Yeah,
think if you are going to study and you are going to make that jump and that commitment, you need to be able to make sure that you have some time to be able to devote to it too. Obviously, we appreciate life can get in the way, and sometimes I think
completely.
think you might have 10 hours one week, and the next week you might not have any because I don't know, you're on holiday or something, or life is just really busy. I think it's the ability to be able to make some time for your study, and also kind of sit down and just make sure you're taking it in. Like, obviously sometimes there can be the pressure, okay, I want to get this in, get my first exam done, but it's really making sure that you're learning the fundamentals, and you're putting that good process in place.
Yeah, definitely. So it's about following your learning plan because it's been personalized to you, and it allows you to space out the different parts of the exact there's different exams within each unit. So sorry, different exams within each qualification, and they all take your time, and you need to be kind to yourself. So yeah, absolutely, life happens. We have people from all different areas of life that maybe are taking our qualifications. So we do understand it. And as Jenny was saying, with the communication side, especially, you know, if you're struggling this week, let us know. No one's judging you. It just means that if we know that, yeah, you've got the kids home this week, so there's not a lot of chance of you doing anything. Next week, you might have more time. So we'll just manage your learning plan around you. But yeah, if you are completely self-studying with our self-study extra plan, you still have your learning plan there. You can amend it yourself. And yeah, just use all the resources around you. I think that's the main thing if you're trying to be a good student, I guess. We've got different student forums online. The AAT have their own one, but also the Accountancy Learning have their own Facebook forum for their students. So there's lots of comments, good feedback. If you need any additional help, definitely use that if you can do. And I think the final question, I've got one more for you, and then I think we'll leave it at that. So, where can the AAT qualifications take you?
Well, as I said, we've had people who are in different places in terms of different practices, different size practices, different people in industry. What have I seen? I've seen lots of different routes. So I've seen and heard about people who have gone on from they've enrolled with us maybe for level 4, they finished their level 4, and then they are currently a director an accountancy firm local to us.
Wow.
So I think there isn't a one size fits all. There are lots of different routes. We have people who have gone on to do ACA. We've had people who've gone to do ACCA. We've had people who have gone on to do CIMA. It isn't just a case of, oh, you do AAT and you go and do one thing and one thing only. There are so many routes available. So one of the things I would say would be like possibly looking at research, like where do you want to go, what do you want to see, and having that idea in mind before you start, but being prepared for it to change as well. Because I think when I started my studies, I was very much like, I want to be an accountant, I want to do an accounting like a qualification, I want to do chartered. And then being prepared for that not always to be the case. Like, you can change your mind. I've had people who have done level 2, level 3, and then they've stopped. They've gone on to do level some other people have gone on to do level 4 and they've stopped there. I think it's just being able to look at what you want from life and adjust your journey accordingly.
Yeah, I think um you've kind of covered everything there. Definitely think it can take you anywhere. And as we were saying earlier with AAT, every business you come across have got some sort of accounting element to it, even the smallest ones you can think of. So yeah, maybe think about what kind of industry, where you want to work, and then think about how you get there. And yeah, if things change, it changes. But yeah, it's life's a journey, and I think AAT can kind of be flexible enough to go on that journey with you. So yeah, I think that's kind of everything today. In terms of any extra questions in the chat, if we didn't get them today, what we'll do is we'll cover them next time, but I can't see any that I've missed. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, it's been really good. It's been great. I think that's been fun, actually.
Thank you for joining us. It's been a fun session.
Yeah, thank you. Right, we'll see you all again. Take care.
Okay, take care. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.